Hi, it's Richard Moore from Racing Profits Guides, and we're here at Nottingham Racecourse with Jane Hedley, the Clerk of the course for Nottingham, and we're just going to have a bit of a chat about the course and get Jane's opinion on the course. Jane's been Clerk of the course here for the last few months, so who better to talk to about the course? First thing, Jane, let's talk a bit about yourself and a bit about your background. How did you get involved in racing?
Been involved all my life, always ridden, sort of hunting point to point and background in the borders. Then became very keen when I did a 6-month stint at Henrietta Knights. Worked for a couple of trainers for a couple of years after having done Agric at Edinburgh Uni, and got hooked then, really.
What year was that?
That would have been 2000, 99, 2000. Then went to work for Shadwell Stud in Newmarket. I was there for 3 years. And then up to Mark Johnson's for the last 6 years.
So you were with Mark for 6 years. When was that up until?
Up until April 2012. So I've been with Jockey Club Racecourses for a year. First 6 months I was training with Kirtland Tellwright up at Haydock, and various other places in between. We did a fair circuit of training days with various officials and various clerks. I then had to sit an accreditation exam, which happened just after Christmas, and I've been in situ at Market Raising and Nottingham since then.
That's right, you do the Market Raising course and alternate between the two, do you?
Yeah.
So which is your favourite course, or do you like them both for different reasons?
No, I like them both equally. I'm a jumping girl at heart. That's where the heart lies. But obviously, having spent a bit of time in Newmarket, I appreciate the flat too.
If we can move on to talking a bit about Nottingham, obviously we've just had a walk around the course, and it's a left-handed oval. You have 16, is it, or 18 race meetings a year?
18 a year.
18 a year, and that's from April through to November?
It is, yeah.
And there's no jumps racing anymore. Obviously that finished a few years ago.
It did, yeah, well before my time.
I think that was in the 90s was the last jumps meeting here, so we've just got flat racing, 18 meetings a year. And what are the main races of the year?
Our two feature races in the year are the Further Flight listed race, which takes place early April, and the Kilvington listed fillies, which happens early May.
Yeah, and that's over 6, you say?
Yeah.
6 furlongs. Okay, and the course, I mean, the thing I noticed about it when I walked around was there's actually 2 separate courses. What's the reason for that?
Just obviously when the jumps track was dispensed with, there was a lot more ground to work with, and we were able to give ourselves 2 tracks, so the outer track and the inner track, just to maximise, opportunities to race.
And you rotate that through the season, do you? So you're using fresh ground all the time?
Yeah, we do fresh ground as much as possible. What we tend to do is use the inner track, which only has a 5 furlong start. We can't run 6 furlong races over that track, so we use it less. And we use it the first couple of meetings of the year and the last couple of meetings of the year. We have the flexibility in between, but largely that's what happens.
And the inner track's got a straight 5 furlong, as you said, and the outer track's the one with the spur that goes off and gives you up to 6 furlong straight races.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the track we use the bulk of the year throughout the summer, and we have the 6 furlong option on that track.
And the stalls on the straight track, say the outside track, where are the stalls usually situated? On the inside rail or the outside rail to come down past the stand? We
would put those on the stands rail, because obviously when they're coming around the distance races that are coming around the bend, they're going to run down the inside rail. So if we put the stalls on the stands rail for the sprints, that just spreads out the wear on the track, and again gives you fresher ground to run on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And do you have mixed meetings then? You'll have a few distance races on the meeting and then also sprint races on the meeting?
Yeah, usually sort of half and half, 2 or 3 sprints and 3 or 4 over a bit further.
And as we walk round the course, I mean, I was taken by how tight the bends are at either end of the oval, and you said yourself that it is quite a tight track, especially the far end where you've put the camber in to help them round that bend. That was quite a tight bend there.
Yeah, it is a tight they are tight bends, particularly the home bend. But we've done our very level best to make it ride as well as possible. As you say, we've cambered the bend, and we also have the points where we put the rail. We've a number of options, we've a number of lines, and it's all measured to the centimetre by Milton Keynes surveys. So it isn't a case of we just throw the rail up by eye. It is very carefully measured.
And you showed me how you can adjust the rail further out or in.
Yeah, we've got a load of drawings and points, so it's all pretty accurate, and that helps a lot to help it ride well.
Yeah. And how does it take the weather, the track? Is it quite a good draining track, or I mean, we've had a lot of rain over the last few summers, so it's been tested, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. And last summer obviously was really difficult, and we're right next to the River Trent here, so the water when the water table is high, it is very high here. But as soon as it stops raining, it does drain quite quickly, and we find ourselves going from being really pretty soft to having to water quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean, there's Southall just down the Trent, isn't there, and they were flooded out, so at least you can tell how being near the Trent isn't an advantage sometimes.
Sometimes, but on the other hand, when we do need to water, we've got an ample supply.
Of water, yeah. So, and the different distances then, let's just discuss a bit about that. On the round track, what's the furthest is about 1 mile 6, did you say?
Yeah, we can race over 2 miles. Generally we use the 1 mile 6. We don't have a mile 4 start because it would be on the bend. Yeah. So our next distance is a mile 2.
Right. And then there's no 7 furlongs, then you go onto the straight course from there, do you?
Yeah, we have a 9 furlong start and a mile start, but then it's 6.
Smashing. Right, Jane, let's talk a bit about the statistics for Nottingham. Obviously, you see a lot of the trainers and jockeys here. What sort of trainers do you get at Nottingham?
Obviously, we're very central here, so we get trainers from all over. A big Newmarket contingent, and also, you know, all the Yorkshire gang. We see quite a lot of them as well.
And who do you think does particularly well here? Obviously, Godolphin send quite a few of their 2-year-olds here, and you were saying that the 2-year-old cup was won by who last year?
We have a 2-year-old championship. I think the prize is cheese and port. It was won by David Ellsworth last year. He ran some nice 2-year-olds here.
Is that run over the season then?
Yeah. It's just whoever accumulates the most points with 2-year-olds through the year.
But you see quite a few Godolphin horses come up here, don't you? I mean, I think they've got a 50% strike rate with the 2-year-olds here. Yeah,
we do. We have very strong maidens generally. You know, Godolphin, Mark Johnson, most of the big players are happy to run nice young horses here.
Do you think because it's such a flat, left-handed, nice, gentle introduction for them?
Yeah, it's a very fair track, and we play to that. We play to our strengths. We, purposely frame races to cater for those types of horses. You know, nice young horse having its first run. And going on to better things, and we've had some real superstars here over the years, you know, likes of Salsabil, Slip Anchor, Also Sharp, all been sighted at Nottingham at one stage. Yeah.
And as you say, when you've got that sort of reputation for your maidens, obviously it's worth them sending up from Newmarket then, because the competition will be quite strong in them as well, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is strong. We're reasonably handy for Newmarket. It's not a huge drive. It's an easy drive from there. I know we see plenty of the Newmarket trainers, and so, as I say, some really nice horses. Yeah.